it's hard to watch. A confrontation spirals out of control. A woman gets punched in the face, and the man keeps relentlessly hitting her. Good evening, I'm Chris Lawrence.
And I'm Cynthia Zahira. Tonight, the victim is sharing her painful story only with WFAA. Matt Howerton is live in Dallas's Deep Ellum neighborhood where this all happened. Matt, how's she doing?
Yeah, Chris, Izzy, that victim tells me that the left side of her face is still swollen. No thanks, police say, to Austin Sheffield. We just got a look at his mugshot right here. And back to that victim, though, she told us tonight exclusively that her wounds will heal, but it will take her some time to get over what happened in this parking lot behind me last night.
Watching it myself, yes, that makes me cry. This man is literally hitting me. All I could do was ball up.
LaDacia Lee has been through an emotional 24 hours. She's the woman being punched multiple times in this video. It is footage that's taken Dallas by storm.
In reality, that recording really helped me out. Because when the police came, it would have been my word against his.
Lee was in Deep Ellum Wednesday night, and around 4 a.m., she got into an argument with bartender Austin Sheffield. Sheffield told police that Lee was driving the wrong way on a one-way street and kept him from leaving a parking lot. Lee says she made a mistake and was just dropping off a friend to get a place to stay.
I know I'm on a one-way street, but I'm stopping literally right here at the corner just to let her out.
But when Lee finally parks, witness video shows Sheffield confronting her, and here you see him pull out a gun.
I was scared. I was like, you got a gun? The first thing that I could think of was to call the police.
And when Lee starts to dial, you see Sheffield knock away her phone. She retaliates, and then Sheffield starts to punch her as many as 5 times.
He charged me. He just kept going and I was just saying, okay, as he hit me, okay.
Police showed up, watched the video, and charged Sheffield with public intoxication, assault, and interfering with an emergency call. Lee says it was the worst night of her life, one she's still trying to make sense of.
It didn't even have to go that far. Why you put your hands on me like that? You literally sat there and beat me like I was a baby.
And that video is hard to watch. We mentioned earlier that Sheffield is a bartender. His bar that he works for is not far from the spot of the attack behind me here in this parking lot. But tonight, we talked to the owner of that bar. He said that Sheffield was fired today. Live tonight in Dallas.
Especially if you in Dallas. If you was in Dallas, Yellow Bees, you know what I mean? Who does Dallas? The motherfuckers in Dallas. Who? Trap Boy Freddy? Yeah. Okay, Trap Boy Freddy. You dig? You know what I mean? All y'all cats out there, man, who holding down the turf, man. You know, whether you Dallas, Fort Worth, wherever you at, but that's your, but it's on your watch. This shit on your watch. I don't want to hear none of that tough shit, man, from none of you motherfuckers, man. Y'all ain't out there, man. Y'all shit, man. It's time, nigga. Y'all nigga been goddamn, we been training and practicing all this gangster shit for all these years.
What?
Nigga, get your ass in the game, motherfucker. What the fuck is you doing? What is you doing? Why for the motherfucker that look like you, look like me, walk up to you and say, especially if you in Dallas, if you gun. When the woman on the video
Ka'Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and those that rule well, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word in sincerity, also in truth. This whole incident that took place in Deep Ellum, it's a very intriguing situation. You had it to where this so-called black, which that was an Israelite woman. She wasn't so-called. She was an Israelite woman. Was beaten by an Edomite male. Viciously. What's very intriguing is that you have T.I. here. He's saying that these various rappers need to get out there. And I don't know what he's advocating, putting in work or whatever. You know, and I thought to myself, you know, this same woman, or not just even her, not even just particularly her, because she's in an unfortunate situation, which we know ultimately was redeemed by Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is the true name of the Most High. Yahweh means to be, by Hashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai is who the world called Jesus, which means Yahweh Shai means to deliver. You know, that was ordained by him to happen, you know, for civil unrest, for whatever purpose he deemed, you know, but not to digress too much. You know, he allowed this to happen. But you see, you know, a lot of these women out here, in Deep Ellum, which, you know, I'm here in Dallas, you know, when you go to Deep Ellum, it's a very diverse crowd, and you'll see so-called black women with, you know, white people, which are Edomites, you know, not so-called white people, which are Edomites. And they have a very, very pompous, very proud, very, you know, arrogant demeanor about them. When you try to speak to them, you know, they look at you in a very arrogant manner, you know, in a very, you know, with disdain, if you will, a lot of them. Now, some of them are real cool. I met a lot of cool females down here, man, in Dallas. A lot of cool, you know, so I'm not sitting here saying that every single, you know, black woman, so-called black woman in Dallas has a bad attitude, because that's not what I'm advocating. You know, like, as I said, there's, you know, some very, very cool women out here. But you have a lot of women out here that are very, 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 you know, disrespectful when it comes to men, in particular black men. And I know this is not an epidemic that happens here only in Texas, right? You have a lot of women that call so-called black men, you know, nothing ass niggas, ain't shit, bitch ass niggas, and they show that disdain when they amongst the heathen, amongst these other people, you know. So the question from that I would like to pose is, should black men as a whole, generally speaking, so-called black men as a whole, generally speaking, right, should they feel the need to protect, you know, these disrespectful women, you know? Because it seems to me like this woman got out of the car and they got in an argument and it escalated. You see, talking crazy, getting in the dude's face, which I'm not advocating that the dude was right in any means. That was a Edomite. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, it's very, very upsetting to see, you know, my people getting treated that way. You know, at the same time, though, at the very same time, there has to be accountability in our community of how our people act, and we need to stop being so reactionary to how other people treat us, and have, you know, a standard within our community. So when we step out, you know, there's a certain way in which, you know, our women are supposed to be acting, not like hoodlums. You see, you say, oh, well, she's a grown up. She can be out any time of the night. And this is what you get. This is what you get. You see, you get that, you get scenarios just like this. And you get people that's reacting. You know, and I found that very surprising that somebody like T.I. would, you know, would say something like that, because, you know, I listen to several, you know, he's a very talented rapper. I listen to several of his songs, and he's, you know, he lets it be known that, you know, bitches ain't shit, you know, excuse my language, you know. So why should you know, these local rappers take up for, you know, a woman that they don't know, or a woman that, you know, could potentially be a bitch? Oh, now am I saying that she is? No, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, but according to the scriptures, it would seem that way. You see, as it gets worse out here in America, you're going to see a lot more of these situations occur because, you know, Edomites, they prey on the weak. They're not going to run up on you, you know, a male that could take care of itself, you know, or could fight. You know, if they do, then they probably have a gun. You see, so crossing, you know, everyday life, you know, they're not going to show their horns because they potentially know that they get destroyed, you know. But when it comes to, you know, these women and things of that nature, they'll show their hatred to somebody who they can quickly overpower. You see, but at the same time, we have a lot of our women out there that are pro-Edomite or so-called white men and against their own people, against the so-called black man. And you hear it within our songs, you know, which I'm you know, if you want to tackle, you know, a problem with, you know, behavior, that should be tackled. Gangster music, you know, and most of these R&B songs that come out about these women, it's all anti-male, you see. And these women in our so-called communities, they're anti-male. They're anti-black male. You see what I'm saying? So-called black male. You know, which again were Israelites and so-called blacks here in America are Judites, the hair tribe. Okay. And you're starting to see the repercussions of that. The scriptures go into and says, never to trust thy enemy. And a lot of our women, they trust after the way and after philosophy, these philosophy of the so-called white man, people or Edomites. You see, and now we're starting to see that, guess what? You women, they hate you just as much as they hate us. But now you're not going to have that covering. You see, because for years, you know, you treated black men as if they're spittle. Am I saying all? Of course not. I've been with a so-called black woman for years now. You know, 10 years. Cool chick. Love her to death. You know what I'm saying? Done dated a lot of black women. I knew a lot of black women. They're just cool. Took care of me when I needed. You know, so I'm not sitting here advocating that every single black woman is wicked. No, of course not. Let's not get simple here. But we cannot negate the actions of our own people, in particular of our women. They have been very, very, very disrespectful to their own kind. So again, my question is, why should they, these various rappers, why should they take up arms, one for a woman that they don't even know, and one for, for a woman that probably has deemed them as nothing, quote, nothing as niggas. Okay? This is Micah 7:10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, what is Yahweh by Yeshem Yahushua thy power? My eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. You have a lot of women out there, that laugh and scoff at the Israelites, man. You see? And that goes back to what? That culture that was given unto us, black culture, that says, you know what? Women are everything and men are nothing, are spittle. And you should treat them as such. Well, now you will have more women that are going to be judged in that manner in which that young lady was judged, man. You see what I'm saying? We're going to see more of that. Because a lot of our women out there, quite frankly, are traitors to their own race. You see, I forget what state it is, but you have one woman, she wants to, basically write a law to where if you don't pull out, then you could get fined. That's a black woman pushing that, you know. That's a black woman pushing that on her own people. Why is that? Because she is trusted in the enemy, man. So you're gonna have a lot of these women that have deemed, their own people as nothing, as bullshit ass niggas, quote quote, as nothing ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? As what, I don't need them, man. We're gonna figure out. You're gonna find out real soon. And guess what? Having a man, having that covering is necessary, especially in a time of disarray of war. You see what I'm saying? So you women out there, get used to that. And secondly, I'm not for to save nobody that's not on my team. You see? Now, am I saying that person, that young lady isn't down? And I'm just using her as an example because that judgment is going to be issued out more and more. So this is just a preview to you women out there that what's going to happen on a massive scale, because the economy is about to crash here. Very, very volatile. I don't know if you've been paying attention. And also, secondly, these white people, they know they have a very short time. And so guess what? They are going to be very, very, very violent. You see? Revelations 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come strength, and it's come salvation, or Salakia, and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his Mashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. That word accuse goes back to category. The same word of category. Matter of fact, I'll prove it to you. Now here's that word accuse. Categorios, an accuser, a name given to the devil by a name that was given to the devil by the Arabics. And the word categorios is the same word that you would use for category, you see. And that's what the so-called white man has done. He's put us in these various categories, or given us these stereotypes, basically as a rationalization for him to lock us up, kill us, give us all types of diseases and things of that nature, man. Well, he's on his way out, you see, and we're able to diagnose who Satan is by the word of God. The scriptures, you see. Revelation 12:11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And who is that? Well, that's the so-called white man, the son of perdition, that's spoken about in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. See, he's being called out for all the lies and all the horrific things that he has done on earth. And also he's being addressed by the Heavenly Father. See, that's why, his population is dwindling year by year. He knows all these things, and guess what? He's going to revert back to his blessing, which is the sword. You see, and in him doing that, you're going to have a lot of these women out here who have trusted in oppression, trusting in the so-called white man. They're going to be consumed by that sword. You see? So a lot of these women out here are being very prideful and very disrespectful towards their own man. Guess what? They're going to be judged by the Heavenly Father, man. And he's going to use these various Edomites, the various people, the same people that you have been trusting in, to let you know that the Most High is displeased with our people. Now, again, I have to emphasize this. Am I rationalizing what this Edomite has done? No. That's an Edomite. You see, that is an Edomite. And I put curses on him. But shame on you women for trusting in this man, the so-called white man, over your own man. You know? But, you know, that's our women. That's women, period. A woman is going to follow power, regardless who has it, you see. And this is just an attribute of us being under the curses. You know, the casualties of war are very unfortunate. You know, you get your women took, and that's what happened to us, you see. But now the tables are turning, you see. The tables are turning. The so-called white man, the Edomites, are going down. And us Israelites, we are on the rise, you see. But within that paradigm shift, you're going to have a lot of casualties. A lot of people are going to be destroyed, man. And then there's going to be a lot of people out there that aren't right, that aren't humble. And those attributes are embodied by a lot of these so-called black women. You see what I'm saying? Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. And how do our women trust in oppression? Well, women are very quick to put their man on child support, or actually abort their children, man. The number one unsafe place for a so-called black child is in the mother's womb. Our women are number one in abortion. And if you do research on where abortions came from, they came from Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was a proponent for eugenic feminism. Now, eugenic feminism came out of eugenics, which was basically the expansion of the people who had the best genes, or the best genes, which we know in the early 1900s, it was just so, in their eyes, they was the so-called white people, and everybody else who they deem as undesirables needed to be grossly eradicated, man. You see what I'm saying? So they implemented, abortions as a way of population control, man, as a way of sterilization. Our women are sterilizing our women, and our women that took hold of this philosophy, and ran with it. Our women hate themselves. That's why you see them with weave, with blind weave, contacts. You see what I'm saying? And that's why they treat their man in the manner in which they treat them. You see? So there's all types of confusion, man, that you see in our communities. In particular with our women. Now, let's say this. Let me say this. Oh, man off the hook? No, of course not. Of course not. But we shouldn't have to say that. See, that's the problem. There is no judgment in our communities, man. These women out here are running wild. Wild. No type of structure whatsoever. And they're running right into the hands of the oppression. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to happen? Verse 13. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high in a high wall whose breaking comes suddenly at an instant. That's right. So guess what? The demise of our women is going to be very, very soon. It's going to be all of a sudden because a lot of our women out there aren't paying attention. You see what I'm saying? They're cool with their jobs. They feel like they don't need a man. You see? So why in the heck should all of a sudden black men, so-called black men, should take up arms and fight for somebody who looks at them as if they ain't shit? Well, I say that they shouldn't. Now again, are there a lot of, cool black women out there? Yeah, man. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you shouldn't feel like it as if I'm talking to you. And secondly, you shouldn't feel like as if you should take up for these women in which I'm admonishing. You see what I'm saying? And that's a problem. There's no judgment, proper judgment in our communities, man. People are licensed to do whatever the heck they want. And our women, they follow after what the Edomites deem right and wrong. And that is a problem. Because these Edomites deem us as the problem of the earth. The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American as the problem of the earth. See what I'm saying? So guess what? They're going to be judged for that, man. Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. That's right. So when this economy fail, like you see in Venezuela and in other various countries, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for you women out here, man. Very. You see, it's going to be some very troubling times. Same dudes, same men that you said you don't need, that you deem was some nothing ass niggas. I don't know if they say that anywhere else, but I know I done heard some Dallas chicks say that. Nothing ass niggas. Just look at you like you just a smuck. You know what I mean? That's a very derogatory word, man. Or term. A nothing ass nigga. Like you look at this mooly. That's what our women call that's how they deem us, right? When all hell breaks loose, you're gonna figure out that having a man is very, very, very needful. But right now you don't see it. Some women are gonna watch this vid and you're gonna be upset and scoff. Cool, that's cool. That's alright. Good. Mark yourself. Okay? Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous cities, because the palaces shall be forsaken, the multitude of the cities shall be left, the forts and towers shall be for dens forever, a joy of wild asses, a pasture of flocks, until the Spirit be poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness be a fruitful field, and the fruitful field be counted for a forest. Then judgment shall dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness remain in the fruitful field. That's right. So, as a field orchard that was once plentiful, is destitute of any fruit. Well, that's likened unto what's going to happen to this place. This place is not going to have any, places to make money, so you could live quite carelessly. On the time, and then with this fall, we're going to be on the rise, man. That's when you're going to see this place flourish, this world flourish. You see, but first, it's going to come what? Jacob's trouble. And women are going to be greatly affected by it, man. So a lot of women out there need to repent before it's too late. Don't look at this vid and decide, you see that fuck you, nigga, and talk trash. Take this as a warning from Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which a lot of these women aren't going to pay attention. A lot of these women are going to see this and they're going to go into their man versus woman mode, sensitive mode. And this lesson is going to go in one ear and not the other. Well, that's good because you're marking yourself. I'm here to tell you that it's going to get very bad out here, man. If you don't have the covering of the Lord, which his name is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, in the name of the Lord God Jesus Christ, and Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, you are going to be destroyed. It's going to be a sore destruction, man. Whoever have ears to hear, let them hear. Kahalau Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua.